Can we? No, no. Guys, see here it is. Hyper-V is alone a server. Okay, Hyper-V itself a server. Like when you are downloading your 2019 server, right? So 19 or 16 server, when you try to download it, so evaluation version, just go through that one. Okay, you downloaded a 2019 server or a 16 server, so depends upon that one, right? So you can download 19 server or 22 server or a 16 server, right? But what is this one? Hyper-V server. Okay, Hyper-V server. See, it is 2019 Hyper-V server, Hyper-V 2016 server, Hyper-V 2012 R2 server, Hyper-V 2012 server. It means it's a direct Hyper-V server. Okay, Hyper-V server. So you can read this one. Yes, just don't do like you're downloading. Just you click download and all. Even that also, a lot of people are having a lot of doubts. So which option we should give? What are the things you have to give? It's okay. But what I'm saying is, read these descriptions. Just to give you a minute to read it. That's okay. Just read it. You don't understand, no problem. One day you will understand. Okay. And what are the system requirements like that? Okay. So small notes. Let's see. Hyper-V and vSphere both I will tell. Hyper-V is the server. Okay. Current availability. Current versions are available 2012, 2012 R2, 2016. Now only we seen the list, right? That's the list only I am betting. 2022 Hyper-V server is not there. Server is there, not server. Hyper-V standalone server. It is nothing but standalone server. It means it's a simple Hyper-V server. Okay. Here I'm going to new. Guys, you take a machine. You take a machine. Okay. This is a physical machine. Machine. It has a CPU, RAM, hard disk, of course, NICs, network related thing. And what you install for hypervisor, Hyper-V server install. So what we can able to do if you are install a hypervisor, you can create a virtual machines. You can create a virtual machines in it. Okay. This is a server virtualization, guys. Remember, this is a server virtualization. In the server virtualization, biggest problem is user interface. Remember, user interface is a big problem. You won't get much interface access. You won't get a much interface access. Okay. How to create a virtual machine? You guys are very violent because you are very silent. And people are disconnecting. Guys, don't forget tomorrow we have a full day session, both Saturday and Sunday. If you have any problem, ask your sir. Okay, Madhu sir only. Directly contact Madhu sir or Charan sir. So we are unable to join and give your name to them. So because is what are the reason they will tell to me. Okay, or you will tell group. Put in a group. So yeah, so and so's reason you are unable to attend. Okay, so then we will see what will happen to them. Okay. I don't like that one. So like disconnecting and so I have a lot of problems physically, mentally, lot of problems are there. But I'm still sitting and trying to take the class, and I'm trying to explain the thing. I don't like that attitude. Anyway, from Monday onwards, no batches for me. For your batch is not there anymore. All batches are same. Not you aren't there. Everybody's. We're trying to make a point, and you are in academic mode only. Okay, on standalone server. Next, Hyper V. Already I told as a feature, as feature in your Windows 8, 8.1, and Windows 10. So your Hyper V is there. Okay, but important is it should be professional or a enterprise editions only available as a feature. How to install Hyper-V in a Windows 8 8.1, but problem is I can't show you in my physical machine because mine is home edition. Okay, so compulsory I have to open some medicine pages, but it will take lot of space from my machine. Okay, so guys, this is my one of the virtual machine. So first I will open it. We'll see one server I open. Next, Hyper-V as role along with operating system. These are as a role available in a Windows 2008 64 compulsory 64-bit compulsory 2008 R2 2012 2012 R2 2016 2019 is available, okay, as a role. Compulsory important thing is 64-bit compulsory. 64-bit hardware is compulsory. 64-bit CPU and secondary address translation. Secondary address and must be there. It means Intel VTX must be enabled or AMD in AMD V. The name is AMD V must be enabled. Next, 2 GB additional RAM is required. 2 GB additional RAM is required. Like your Windows 10 is a 2 GB minimum requirement to install, right? But it is additional RAM is required. Next, next in a Hyper-V, you have a hypervisor platform, Hyper-V platform, and Hyper-V manager, Hyper-V platform, and Hyper-V manager both are there. Okay, two are there. If you have a Hyper-V platform to create and run VMs in the PC, the server, the PC in the PC. PC means computer, right? So system, in the system, uh, Hyper-V manager. Okay, Hyper-V manager manage Hyper-V servers. Okay, Hyper-V servers, virtual machines manage, and also you can create manage Hyper-V servers. That's it. Okay, see here, it guys. If you have a 32-bit or like a 32-bit Windows 10 kind of stuff, or a no virtualization, no virtualization feature in BIOS, okay, can install Hyper-V manager only, where in this one, in this one, 32-bit 8, or a no virtualization feature in a BIOS, no feature on CPU, or exactly say also not enabled in BIOS. Okay, so you can install Hyper-V manager only. So what will happen in this case? In this case, you can access remote server Hyper-V server. That's it. Okay. Cannot create and run machines in our one system. Means running in my system means system virtual machine is actually located in my PC. That is won't happen. Only we can manage the can access remote server and manage VMs. So this is your Hyper-V related details. Okay. Next, Hyper-V. Whenever you install a Hyper-V, no, I turn on it. See here it is on control insert. This is my domain, and already Hyper-V is inside. Yeah, finally someone put a question. No, UEFI secure boot won't affect on a virtualization. Okay, UEFI secure boot won't affect on a virtualization. Virtualization means virtual machine security. That is a different one. So that may be affect like a UEFI secure boot. It may be linked to V-Shield kind of stuff. Okay, like a shielded virtual machine. That is may link is there, but plainly say because of a secure boot or no secure boot, virtualization cannot be installed. That kind of stuff is not there. Yeah, it will take time to open, but meanwhile, see like this. So when you create a Hyper-V, in a Hyper-V, when you create a VMs, okay, so VMs are when you install a create a new VMs, so that is where I'm putting. When you create a VMs, asking generations. Generation one. Next one is generation So completed. Actually, I put a Hyper-V. Yeah, it is there. Is there not this server only or the another server? It is not here, and it is also not showing here. This is the same machine. One second. Yeah. So more network. Okay, maybe this one. But this is a dead slow machine. Second one. And that too, we use this 180 days trial versions, right? So obviously it is dead machines. Okay. Generation 1, generation 2. Guys, remember it accept 32-bit of OS. Okay. Okay. OS. We what were the installation 32-bit and a 64-bit also it will accept. 32-bit OS, 64-bit OS. Exactly say any type of OS accept. You can create any OS, anything, any virtual machine, any 32-bit, 64-bit VMs you can able to create 32-bit, 64-bit accepted. Accept a BIOS only, BIOS type. Okay, BIOS type of OS, BIOS type of features you will get it. You can install OS using your physical DVD, CD, DVD possibility is there. CD or DVD, ISO images, virtual copy disk that is called VFD. Okay, virtual floppy disk. Next one is ISO images. Next one is through network based or through network. Exit based installation possibility is there. Remember, it accept 32-bit, 64-bit. Okay, any type of OS. Any type of OS means Windows, both old and new. Old new, both it will accept. First of all, 32-bit type Linux, Unix, like anything, any kind of OS you can able to install general. That's a generation one. Okay. What is a generation two? What is generation two? Generation two only 64-bit. Only 64-bit. Okay. Mm. New operating systems. Okay. New OSs. Example, Windows 8 or 8.1, Windows 10, 2012 server, 2012 R2, 2016, 2019, like that. Okay. So I didn't tested a Linux based operating system on generation 2. Recently we don't get UEFI based, only UEFI. Okay, only UEFI based. You can install OS using ISO images and network based only you can able to install. Okay, so this is a generation 1 and generation 2 when you create a virtual machines. These are the main important about your Hyper-V. And switches, network switches already I told. Okay, so we have a, just I'm telling, external switch, internal switch. Next one is gateway switch. We already explained what is the switches also in a earlier net was in a network virtualization. Just once again, if you want, you can go for it. Okay, external switches. Virtual disk formats also, different virtual disk formats are there. Okay, dot vhd, dot vhdx, dot in a new format is dot vhd set. This is another format. Next, dot vhd a, vhd a. What is okay? What is UEFI? What is network based? That's a doubt. Saiteja, I will explain then. No problem. Okay, see guys. No. So what is the question? So guys, here it is. Network based installation means through network we can install a operating system. Okay, through network we can install a operating system. So this is my, for example, WDS server. Okay, using WDS server I can install operating system to my machines through network. That is a network based. Okay, just telling you about a second generation. Yes, good. Okay, UEFI BIOS are a framewares, RAM. Okay, software in the RAM. Okay, BIOS is a old one, UEFI is a new one. Okay, next, it also support fixed disk, dynamically expanding, and differencing. I told two times differencing disk, but I didn't tell what it is. Yes, differencing disk is like a parent child disk. Okay? Parent disk is main or a base disk, means main disk only. Okay? You can create number of child disks on parent. Okay, on parent you can create a number of child disks, the multiple disks. Okay, data of parent, data in parent disk is displays display in child disk, display in a child disk. Okay, so if to change change data in your child disk, the change not affect on uh, parent disk. Okay, okay, so you can do whatever you want to do on a child disk. Data won't be affect on your parent disk. So that is a differencing disk, simply say. Hmm. Next, uh, lot of things are available in there. So if you see, then only we can understand. Guys, if you want to install Hyper-V in your Windows 10 or a Windows Server, important thing is there is a three lines I added. Like how you install a Linux at the time, I put a CPU check mark and added three lines, right? So if you add those three lines and put a CPU check mark, then only you can able to install. See, when you create a virtual machine, at the time of creating a virtual machine only, so I given a 4 GB RAM. So side so CPU, see this check mark. Okay, can you see virtualize VTX AMDV? Okay, that check mark must be given when you create a virtual machine. So when you are creating virtual machine, that time only you have to give this one before you start a virtual machine. Before you start a virtual machine, that check mark must be given. Adding a three lines is very important. I told you in VMX file you have to add these three lines. So the three lines I am adding, right. So that thing, then only you can able to install a what we can able to install Hyper-V in your Windows 10 or Windows Server both. We should do that one before you start your virtual machine for create installation purpose. If you have a doubt, go to my previous one that you can find like how to create a virtual machine for a Windows 10, how to create a virtual machine for a 2019 or a install a 2019 server. So machine creation, so got compulsory, that is important. Okay. Yes, next one is shielded virtual machine is one of the thing. Shielded virtual machines will give you protect your virtual machine from attacks. Like this, there is a certain features you can go through that one. So virtual SAN support is there. Virtual SAN support, fiber optical, virtual fiber optical connections are there. Okay, a lot of things you can able to do it. So how I install Hyper-V? See manage. I go to manage. Very simple. Add roles and features as you install any role. Same thing only. Next, next. This is Hyper-V. See, Hyper-V is already installed. This is won't be highlighted if you don't add a three lines. Okay, nothing is there inside. Okay, it's a pure Hyper-V. Okay, pure Hyper means no other services. Okay, so I install next install. It will restart two times. I already installed, so don't worry. Next, this is my Hyper-V console. Just I want to show the Hyper-V console. See, here it is. This is the Hyper-V manager. Guys, I'm putting in a full screen mode, so then you can maybe you can be able to view clearly. You see, already I created two virtual machines inside. Okay, I created two virtual machines. This is Hyper-V manager. Right click, connected to server. It means you can connect it to your server if it is Hyper-V platform is there. Otherwise you can connect it to remote servers also. Okay, manager can connect it to multiple servers from here. Okay, another server, another computer means remote server also you can connect it. You can see connected to server, connected to server. You can see that connected server means remote servers also you can connect from this manager and we can manage it. Anyway, this is my local one. You can see in new, this is a new virtual machine. New virtual machine. Just I'm going to create a new virtual machine. So this is a new virtual machine. So I'm typing some name. So my VM, okay, CTS 9 VM1, just for example. And here where you want to store. Guys, can you able to view properly? Okay. So where you want to store your virtual machine location. Next, generation 1, generation 2. What is generation 1? 32-bit, 64-bit guest operating system, and provide a virtual hardware has been available in previous version of Hyper-V. All previous versions also support, like XP, like that also it will support. XP, Windows 7, like that it is also support. What is generation 2? Generation 2 support UFI based frameworks, 64-bit operating system, newer provide support for newer virtualization features, 64-bit based firmware, required a supported 64-bit operating system. It does not say now because 2012 it is saying Windows 8 operating system, 2012 operating system. They specify operating system. Now they are not specifying. They're saying newer operating system is better. UFI based operating system, 64-bit guest operating system, it will accept it. If you take generation 1, I put a generation 1. See, this is the RAM selection. The dynamic RAM selection is there. Okay, dynamic RAM selection. Network connection, to whom you want to connect it. These are all I already created. That's why it is there. Okay, already I created these things. That's why it is there. Okay, this is the virtual hard disk. VHDX maximum 64 terabytes. You can change it if you want to change. You can change it also. Like I put a 64 GB only, not terabytes. You can install operating system later from CD DVD. You can install the operating system, or you can install operating system from ISO image. You can from floppy disk drive, virtual floppy disk drive, and a network based installation. Okay, this is the summary. But if you go to generation 2, what are the options you will get it? Generation 2. Okay, it is not asking Windows or Linux kind of stuff. Generation 1 or generation 2 only. Okay, so this is a RAM selection again. So how much RAM you want to put it, and which network you want to put it, not connected or private or anything. So you can select any switch as per your requirement, and how much size of the disk you want to use, existing virtual hard disk, or you want to add a hard disk later. Okay, next, see options are less, only ISO image or a network based installation. Okay, so like this, I didn't do it. Okay, so like this. Next one is, this is how to create a virtual machine. This is how to create a virtual machine. Guys, understand how to create a virtual machine? Just generation 1, generation 2 means how it is look like. Just have you seen or not? That's at least. Okay. So I will show you the switches also. That's it for a Hyper-V. That is more than enough. Not more than enough. It is not even a introduction. There is a lot of things are there to know about a Hyper-V. So this is the Hyper-V switches. So look at here. These are all switches I created, but you want to see ncpa.cpl. Maybe it will open my physical machine or virtual machine, because they are very good. It is for my virtual machine. So guys, see here a local server in my server. Guys, everybody knows server, right? In my server, I have a four physical NICs. I have a four physical NICs. Okay, so NIC1, NIC2, NIC3, but some are I think internal external switches also there. This is an external switch. These are two are internal switches. These two are internal switches. This is the external switch. and these are NICs. But where is a one? I think there are mixed with like a teaming kind of stuff. Okay, so also you can see here it is NIC one. It is look like a physical one, but this is external switch, internal switch, internal switch. There are virtual adapters only. Virtual adapters are virtual switches only. These are my servers NICs. My server NIC. Okay, so you can read the description here. I didn't give an actually I will show like this, and I wrote down this one: external switch, internal switch, private switch. How to create a switch? If you want to create an external one, you need a available physical network. You need a available physical network. I'm selecting this two. Okay, this one, and I put a name external switch two, because switch one is already existing here. If you want, I can delete it also, no problem. Apply. Now the switch is created. It is bridged to this physical NIC. The switch is bridged to physical NIC. The spelling mistake is there, no problem. Okay. So I put on something, right? Properties change, connections. You click OK. Yeah, maybe there is some error here. So, failed. Maybe because of some previously I because I have to delete everything. Then if I create from starting, then it will give you clarity. How many externals are there? Yeah, it is created. It's not throwing any error. Yeah, see, external switch 2 is created. Okay, click OK. See, this is my external switch, and this is my original switch. It not showing anything. You can see if you go to details, it's not showing anything because it is bridged to this one. It is bridged to this one. The details are shows here on. Details are shows here on. Guys, understand? External switch means it is bridged to here. I think this is bridging to here. We'll see. It has the details. No problem. This one, no details. See, no details. It means it is bridging to someone. I think it is bridging to this one only. Okay, it has the details. Next, this is another NIC, physical NIC. This is having showing directly details. It is means bridging is not created with the external switch. Okay, these are internal switches. No physical access. No physical access. You can assign IP address like your machine. So you can assign like that one only. Okay. Number of internal switches you can create it. It not depends upon how many physical NICs. External switches you can create based on number of physical NICs or a NIC teaming. This is NIC teaming. You can create NIC teaming like this. NIC teaming. So click on here. Okay. So you have to wait little bit time. So how many NICs are available? NIC 0, NIC 1, virtual NICs like this it is showing. Number of NICs are available. So team you want to create, new team. Now you have to select. how many NICs you want to make it as a team, like a team one or a team two or a pole one, pole two, or like this anything, and click OK. Or you can put a additional properties also there here. Look at this one. Additional property, switch independent, switch static teaming, LACP, load balancing type, okay, address hash, Hyper-V port, or a dynamic like a load balancing mode, standby mode. Like a standby mode means if one switch is working, sorry, one NIC is working, another NIC is in a standby. Both are not active at a time. One active, another is standby. Like that. I put a standby like this, means Ethernet 0 is a standby, Ethernet 3 is generally active. If Ethernet 3 is down, Ethernet 0 become active. One active, one standby. Active down, standby, start active. That is like this. Okay. This is how to create teaming. Okay. At least one, if you understand it is good. Means any one technology. Guys, this is a virtual SAN manager. This is a disk type. New virtual hard disk also there. I will show you the disk here. You can see. This is the format: VHD, VHDX, VHD set. This is a new in the Windows 10 onwards. It is not there in earlier. VHD, VHDX common. So 2 terabyte, 64 terabyte, up to 64 terabyte. Fixed size, dynamically expanding, differencing. Already I explained that one earlier only. Okay. Configuring disk like this. These are remaining are normal options. Not to do. Okay. You can import a virtual machines. Hyper-V has a certain features, like you can import a virtual machine, export a virtual machine like this. Right click on it. You can create a checkpoints. You can export a virtual machine. You can move the virtual machine. See, export, move, import, export. Ah, yeah, this is the one. Guys, one small thing about a Hyper-V. Import. Time export, import. It is okay. First of all, we can do it in a VM on turn off condition. Okay, VM should be turn off. What is import and export? We can copy or move VM from one host to other host. Okay, but the condition is VM must be turn off. Next one is move. What is this move? Is also called as live migration. Live migration is possible. What is this move or a live migrations? We can move VM from one host to other host without turn, turn off VM. Without turning off virtual machine, we can move it. That is called a live migration. What is a cold migration? It's nothing but when you have to shut down your virtual machine, then only we can move it. So when a virtual machine is running, so you can change, you can move the virtual machine from one host to another host, or one server to another host or a server, whatever it is. Okay, that is a another move. Okay, there is so many things are there. Geo replication is also there. So you can see, go to VM settings, live migration possible. Okay, you can enable incoming, outgoing, live migrations. Okay, where you want to store the data. Replication configuration. What is replication configuration? You can replicate the virtual machine into remote server. That is called geo replicate the VMs. Okay, replicate replication geo replicate the VMs. So the meaning is replicate means like a backup to remote geographical location. Geographical location. Okay, this is another feature of Hyper-V. Guys, small conclude and close. Okay, so what is a Hyper-V? Hyper-V is a hypervisor. First of all, okay, so which is belongs to Microsoft proprietary. Microsoft proprietary. Microsoft proprietary. Next, Hyper-V standalone server is there like a Hyper-V servers 2012, 2016, 2019. Okay, standalone server currently available. Okay, old one is I am not talking about. Currently, you can download these things. Next, Hyper-V as a feature in Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Professional and Enterprise. Hyper-V as a role in a Windows 8 from as in a server in a Windows Server 2008, 2064 bit R2, 2012, 12 R2, 16 and 19. I've seen from here to here. I never seen this one. Okay, so anyway, 64 bit 2008 it is there, but we didn't work on it. So I have a lot of experience in this one with the Hyper-V. With the Hyper-V, less experience with Hyper-V. These things. Okay, more experience in this one. I'm a MCS certified in a and also I'm certified in a Hyper-V with a System Center, Microsoft certified. I wrote my exam. Okay, no problem. Okay, so Hyper-V important to install in Hyper-V whether it is as a server role as a feature along with operating system or at standalone Hyper-V. Important is CPU must be 64-bit. Secondary address translation is there, and otherwise you can see must be enabled also. Must be enabled also. Next, 2 GB additional RAM means Windows 10 64-bit is 2 GB minimum RAM. So we need a additional 2 GB means 4 GB RAM is required. Server 2016 2 GB RAM is required. Server 2016 2 GB minimum RAM is required. So we need a 4 GB RAM. Okay, so Hyper-V, two parts are there, platform and manager. Mainly two parts, platform and manager. Platform is actually hypervisor platform to run your virtual machines on the Butler server. On the Butler server, you want to run a machine, you need a platform. Just you are connecting to the remote one or your own server or a remote server, you need a manager to manage the virtual machines. Okay, so when we won't get this kind of Hyper-V kind of thing, so we'll see. If you have a 32-bit OS of Windows 8 or Windows 10 professional or enterprises, no virtualization feature and CPU, you can install Hyper-V manager only, not a platform. So you can access remote virtual Hyper-V servers and manage the virtual machines on it. Okay, or not enabled on a BIOS also, same thing. You cannot create and run a virtual machine on your own because you don't have a platform. You can create a virtual machines. So the virtual machines are generation 1 2 types. Okay, generation 1 any operating system acceptable 64-bit or a 32-bit and BIOS based and physical DVD, images, network based installations, we can able to do it. In generation 2, only 64-bit UFI based operating systems. Okay, new operating systems are acceptable. So Linux, no guarantee. Maybe you can try Linux 6 or 7. Try 7. 7 is having UEFI. 7 or 8 Linux or 7 or 8 you can try because UEFI is there. Yes, and ISO images are a network based operating system. Hyper-V having a three type of switches: external switches, internal switches, private switches. External switches, if your VM is connected to external switches, VM can able to access physical network. If VM is connected to internal switches, VM can able to access your physical server, not a physical network. Your VM is connected to private switch, so it can able to communicate other VMs which is connected to same private only, not other privates. Different type of disk formats are there in a Hyper-V virtualization, VHD, VHDX mainly. Fixed disk, dynamically expand disk, different sync disk we can able to create it. Fixed disk, we know when you create a disk, it occupy the space in a starting day only, the start of the disk only. Expanding disk, you put a data into the virtual hard disk, it will keep expanding as per the data in the disk. Differencing disk is a parent child disk. You created a main disk or a parent disk, and you can create a on top of the parent disk, you can create a number of child disk. Okay, so if you change any data in the child list, it won't affect on your parent list. Your data is safe in a parent, and you can change or delete or whatever the change data you do it, you can do it in a child list. And whenever you create a child list, the data in the child list is nothing but a parent's disk data only. If you alter the data, nothing will affect on your parent disk. That is the concept. In a Hyper-V, we have a two features. One is import and export type. It's like a cold migration. Turn off your virtual machine, then you can migrate from our machine to remote. Okay, that is called a cold migration import export options. Another one is a live migration. It means directly you can move our virtual machine from our host to another host by using live migration thing. Okay, just like a moving without shutting down the virtual machines. And also VM having a geo replication means, for example, I have a server in a Vishakhapatnam, and I have a virtual machine in the that server. I can replicate that virtual machine into the Delhi, or maybe Dubai, or maybe in America, or maybe Switzerland. So geographical different so remote geographical location, I can replicate this virtual machine. That is another feature of this one. This is about your Hyper-V. Okay, very light. I told actually there is a lot of things to discuss it, but we need at least 1 week time, full days. 1 week full day time is required. Okay, that's it. Okay.